Hello and welcome to the fastest delivery van in Gran Turismo 7. This is the Toyota L-Pod Executive Lounge, and in today's video we are going over a 700 performance points tune for this vehicle. Now this tune is actually viewer requested, and if you want to see your tune be in the next video, leave it down in the comment section and let's get to work. Now since you are going to have to fully upgrade the Toyota L-Pod, well, we're just going to go over the tuning parts as well as the tuning sheets together to just save us some time. So we're going to start off with tires. So for this event, you can use whatever tire compound you want. I suggest you can either use Racing Softs to get the most efficient lap times as possible, or you could use Racing Hards. Now with Racing Hards, you are going to set a bit of a slower lap time, but you are going to be able to not need to change your tires as often. So for this and for my personal experience, I'm going to say go with the Racing Softs, as well as you need to purchase intermediate tires, because with the event that we're going to do, rainfall is most likely to occur. So suspension differential as well as your torque vectoring differential does not affect your performance points rating at all. So if you want to adjust any of these settings, you can, but if you just want to follow mine, well, they are as follows. So suspension, fully customizable. Your body height adjustments is going to be set to 120 for both front and rear. Anti-roll bar both 9. Dampening ratio compression both 40. Dampening ratio expansion both 48. Natural frequency in the front is going to be 3.10. In the rear is going to be 3.20. Now your negative camber angle is going to be 3.0 in both the front and the rear. So your toe angle in the front is going to be 0.10 going outward and 0.20 going inward. Differential, I didn't actually add one because I didn't feel the need to, but if you want to get extra bit of tuning, well, you can and add your own tune. So for torque vectoring differential, I just had it set to 40 in the front, 60 in the rear, which I didn't actually just change to 5 in the front, 95 to the rear, because I like my cars being more rear wheel biased. So downforce, this is a key part, because since we are going to be using the car around Le Mans and it's mainly straightaways, we need as little downforce as possible. Now yes, this does decrease our cornering ability, but it doesn't really change much. So your front downforce is going to be 0, your rear downforce is going to be 50. Your fully customizable ECU is going to be set to 100. You do not need a ballast or a power restrictor, so that is not going to be touched. Your fully customizable racing transmission is going to be set to 290 kilometers per hour. Now nitrous oxide, if you want to add it to the vehicle, you can, but it is not necessary. Now if we go on over to the next page, we see the high RPM turbocharger is applied with the racing intercooler. Then we have under intake and exhaust, we have a racing air cleaner, a racing silencer, as well as a racing manifold. For a braking system, I just went for racing slotted disc as well as racing brake pads. Now clutch and flywheel, that is also set to racing. Then all of the tuning parts that have been done to the engine are listed. So installed, we have the bore up, the stroke up, engine balance tuning, polish parts, high lift camshaft, as well as a racing crankshaft. Then we have stage 1, 2 and 3 weight reduction also installed on the Toyota L-Pod. Now just a reminder, if you can't get the downforce to 0 or you can't change the downforce, you're going to need to head on over to GT Auto. You're going to add a front splitter and a rear wing, and this will then allow you to adjust the downforce on this vehicle. Now that we have the tune complete, we're going to head on over to the World Touring Car 700 around Le Mans. This is a 30-minute event, which means you need to do as many laps as possible within the 30 minutes to become the winner. And at the end of it, you will earn 825,000 credits as long as you don't overtake under a yellow flag. Now before we even get into a race, you need to go over to your settings and change your race difficulty from hard, medium, or whatever it is, and set it to easy, because if you don't do this, you will not be able to win this event, and you will actually waste about 30 minutes of your life if you do try to. Because the only way that I can see you possibly winning using the Toyota L-Pod on hard difficulty is if there is rainfall of biblical proportions on the circuit and the AI just doesn't know what to do. And even if that does happen, you too are also gonna face it. So for that, and to just guarantee you winning that 825,000 credits, well, set your difficulty over to easy. Now the reason I'm saying you don't want to waste 30 minutes of your life is because I did. I attempted to do this race on the hardest difficulty, and by the end of the event I was behind first place by over 2.5 minutes. And in racing, you know, that is incredibly long. So to avoid you going through the same punishments I had to endure, well, you're just gonna have to change your difficulty over to easy. Now once we load in, the first thing we need to do is set our fuel map over to fuel map level 6. Now this is the biggest con when it comes to using the Toyota L-Pod, and that is the vehicle's fuel economy. Because it has the aerodynamics of a house, this car is extremely uneconomical. This car will only get you 2 laps on fuel map level 6. So yes, the car is very thirsty when it comes to fuel. But as you can see, since the difficulty is on easy, it's making the event obviously easy. Now you just have to manage your tire wear as well as your fuel consumption. Now why I say to use the racing softs, because you're gonna head into the pits every second lap. The tires will only last you 2 laps. So by the time you need new tires, you also need new fuel. So it works out great. However, if you don't want to change tires, I suggest using the racing hards. That way, when you get into the pits, you only have to worry about refueling. So the biggest tip when using the Toyota L-Pod, because this car is on fuel map level 6, it is extremely underpowered. So the best advantage you're going to have on the straightaways is slipstreaming. If you see a vehicle in front of you, stay behind it. Even if you have enough speed to try and make the overtake, it's not gonna work out. So my advice to you is to just stick on the bump of the car ahead of you and overtake when you reach the corners, because somehow this car has great acceleration from first to fourth, but once you hit 5th gear, that's when the car really begins to slow down. Now the car has an 8-speed transmission, so with us setting the transmission to 290, we basically miss out on too many gear changes. Now I was only able to make my overtake and pass first position by the end of the straightaways on the 2nd lap. So it took me a long time to actually make it to the front of the pack. And with me making it to the front of the pack now, I could only stay there for what? About another half a lap, then I had to go into the pits. This car is not efficient at all. This is nowhere near the best money method. But if you're looking to just utilize as many cars and try out different vehicles, this car is still able to get the job done. Yes, it does mean you have to change your race difficulty down to easy, and possibly you can do this on medium difficulty. Please ignore me spinning out. I really just had a skill issue, so we're just gonna ignore that. When I come out of the pit lane, I see myself in 16th position. So all the progress I made in the first 2 laps was lost. But now, luckily with rainfall hitting a circuit and the AI is not pitting, well, that just means easy overtakes. For some reason, when the rainfall lands on the circuit, the AI just malfunction and don't know what to do. And this makes him drive incredibly slowly and just on edge, and you can take full advantage of this. And you see that the L-Pod actually just flies past majority of these vehicles. Plus it also helps that these cars just end up spinning out and crashing when the rainfall begins. So that's just a perk, and because of it, we actually finished this event even with us needing to hit every 2nd lap with a lead of over 2 minutes and 50 seconds between us and 2nd place. So yes, I understand the difficulty is easy, and I did complete this race once again without rainfall, and I was still able to dominate the AI. So if you want more of a challenge, you can use this race on medium difficulty, but once again, do not attempt it on the hardest difficulty. I think even some top level drivers will struggle to get this job done. So with us getting just over 30 minutes around the event, that means we get 825,000 credits, making it a viable money method. So if Toyota Alphard is not the best way to do it, but if you want to see what is, click the video on screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.